Hi everybody, this is Willie at newandlostcrafts.com, and we're back as promised. My daughter and I are on vacation for her spring break down visiting Grandma in Arizona, and Grandma is an accomplished crochet artist, and I believe that qualifies as a craft that's losing popularity, and we need to get it some popularity. So we did the single and double stitches last time, and we're back with granny squares, and I'm going to turn it over to her.
Okay, what we're attempting to do is to make granny squares, and the finished product is going to be a 6-inch square that looks very much like this, and I'm going to start from scratch. The stitches that you're going to use in doing this is basically the chain stitch and the double crochet is all you need to know to do this. At the end I will tell you what my preference for doing the granny square is, but in the meantime I'm going to show you how to do just a 6-inch square. We're going to start by, again, like I said before, every pattern starts with a chain. So we fold it over the yarn and we're going to pull it through to start our chain. And for the granny square, the chain is 4. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have to make a ring to work out of. So what we're going to do is to slip the hook through the very first chain like this, and then we're going to pull your yarn through all the way, and now you've got a ring that you're going to be working out of. The first thing we're going to do is to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to do 2 double crochets. Again, wrap it around. We're going down through the hole, pull the yarn up, and then we're going through the 2 loops and then through 2 more. And then we're going to do this again, wrap around, another double crochet, pull it up, through the 2 holes, through the 2 holes again. And basically what you've got right now is 3 double crochets, with the first one being the 3 chain. So you chain 3 and then 2 double crochets, and it gives you the effect of 3 double crochets. Next you're going to chain 3, and then you're going to do 3 double crochets. I go a little quiet here, but one of the joys of crocheting is that you can be quiet. You don't have to have the television set on or talking to anybody. It's a very quiet time. So now I've got 3 double crochets here, 3 double crochets here, and we're going to need 2 more 3 double crochets. So I'm going to go ahead and do those. You'll chain 3, and then start the next set of 3 double crochets. And now you've got 3 here. 1, 2, 3. 3 sets of double crochets, which is linked together by 3 simple chain stitches. We'll go again, 1, 2, 3, and then do our last set of 3 double crochets.
And just to clarify, when you do the double crochets, the thing I always found kind of neat about this is you you don't have to be so picky with the rest of the, as like the rest of the crocheting world, is you're actually physically going through that large hole in the middle, which makes it an easy target. I kind of always like that.
And now you've got your 4 double crochets, and you got the beginning of your square. You've got your 4 corners. Now you're going to come over, and you've got to do your chain 3. To make your last corner, and then you are going to slip stitch in your double crochet. And a slip, I don't think we talked about a slip stitch. Let me explain that to you. You're at the end of your chain 3, and a slip stitch, you're just going to merely go under, grab the yarn, and then you're just going to pull it through the yarn that's on the hook. And we're going to do that again. You do that in each one of the double crochets here. Slip it, pull it through. And then last, you go under, grab it, and pull it through. And you have slip stitched across this last set of 3 double crochets, and now you have your 4 corners. Now we're going to start the next round, and when you're finished, if you just do the 6-inch squares, you're going to have a total of 5 rounds, this being your first round. So we will start by chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do a double crochet, another double crochet, and you've got your first 3 double crochets. So at the end of the first double crochet, each corner is going to have 2 sets of 3 double crochets that are going to be linked by 3 chains. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then start the second set of double crochets, which is 3 double crochets. It doesn't take long with the granny squares to see your pattern start to form.
And I think the neat thing about this particular pattern is you can do a 6-inch square or a couple of them in a sitting.
Right.
And just make a bunch of them over time, then you can combine all of them to make a nice piece.
So this is your corner on your second round. You've got two sets of 3 each double crochets linked by a chain of 3. Now we're going to the next corner, and to move to the next corner you just put a single crochet, then you go in with your first double crochet, your second double crochet, this is your first set of them, and now you're going to do your chain of 3, 1, 2, 3, and then your second set of double crochets. And now your second corner is, whoops, one more. Okay, now you've got your second quarter done. You've got your 2 sets of 3 double crochets linked by a chain 3. Now you will chain 1 again and move over to here to the next corner. Started with a double crochet, Okay, now we're going to do our chain 3. Oops. Grandma's a little nervous.
Well, to those folks watching this, again, I'm going to say, like I did on the first video, is that it may look like her hands are going really fast, especially if you're brand new to this, but having done this myself, I'm not as fast as my mom is, but you get into a rhythm and it's actually very meditative. It's really neat. So
now you've got your 3rd corner. And again, chain 1 to get over to your 4th and last corner, and then start your double crochets again. Sorry, Willie.
Oh, it's okay. You're in the zone. But if you're looking for some stress relief, something to do with your hands, great hobby.
Okay, chain 3, dip in, and now you've got your square. And the way you're going to join your square now is that you are going to do a chain 3, on this last one to go over. Nope, I made a mistake there. Now you've got your 4 corners, and you need to go over and link here. You're going to do a chain 1, and you're going to go over to the last chain in this chain 3 here, and you're going to slip it, do a slip stitch, come through to join, being stubborn, and then you are going to slip stitch across the double crochet. You're headed to the other corner, didn't mean to do that. You're going to slip stitch across to the corner, and now you're to the corner, and you're going to start your next round, and it gets very repetitive with just one variation from now on. That's 1, 2, 3, and we're going to do your first set of double crochets. Your corners have 2 sets of 3 each double crochets. And when you start a new round, your first double crochet is actually a chain of 3. That actually creates the height for your second row. And then in between, again, you're going to do 3, 2, 3, your second set of double crochets. Okay, now you're starting your next round, and the variation here is that you are going to do 1 chain, and now you actually have a space that's not a corner. The space here, you are going to actually do 3 double crochets, but only 1 set. You're not going to do 2 like the corners, you're just going to do 1. And so now you've got your space here, so in each one of these side spaces that's not a corner, you will just chain 1 between the corner over to here, to this space here, and you're going to do 3 double crochets. Then you're going to do another 1 chain, and then go back to your corner, which is 2 sets of 3 double crochets. And remember, the only time a chain of 3 helps make your double crochet is when you're starting a brand new row. So now we've got the first set in this corner. We'll chain 3 here to act as a bridge, and then we'll do our second set. Okay, and then we're going to do our chain 1, and we've got a space here, and we're going to do just our set of 3, one set of 3 double crochets in the space. I sometimes refer to these as windows. And you will have to pull out and start over sometimes. It's amazing how I like to kind of watch TV and crochet at the same time, and sometimes I forget to look at what I'm doing, and then I look down and I got a mess. Like I told you before, I'm using a K hook because that's just kind of my hook of choice on most things, because I do tend to pull my yarn tighter than a lot of people, and so in order to keep it fairly loose I have to use a bigger hook. And that's something that as you get into it you'll decide which hook is your favorite too. And even though sometimes a pattern calls for a smaller hook, I kind of stay with the bigger hook. Okay, we're back to a corner. I can remember when Willie was in high school and I started crocheting. I started late in life. He got all fascinated with what I was doing and had me stop and show him how to crochet, and he really got into it. He likes to make hats and scarves. Very talented.
And a quick note while Grandma's doing this, once you get good at these, pot holder in about 20 minutes for, hot pad.
And if you do them as a pot holder or a hot pad and put them in a Christmas stocking, your cousins, aunts, uncles, grandchildren, they just think, oh my God, she's so talented. And it's amazing how the younger generation today just really treasure getting something that's been handmade like this. It's not bought at the store. Okay, so we're back now, and we have done 1, 2, 3 rows. And so again, we will take our 1 stitch, go over to our 3rd chain, and we're going to slip stitch across to the corner. And slip stitching again, you're just putting it in and pulling it through. And then we're back to the corner. Now as we go around this time, instead of just having 1 window, we're going to have 2 windows that we will have to do 3 sets, or 3 double crochet, 1 set of 3 double crochets. So basically what you're doing is in the corners you're doing 2 sets of 3 double crochets with a 3 chain bridge. And then when you get to what I call the windows, you're doing a chain 1 across, and you're just doing 3 double crochets in your window.
And we're basically matching the size of this at this point, right?
And you could stop, like if you were doing a baby blanket, this would be a perfect size. to put these together, you just simply take your yarn and you just get a big crochet needle and you just sew them together. You slip stitch them all the way across and sew them together, and they make beautiful babies' blankets. You can do different colors, have your squares different colors and what have you. Now, to get most people the full size ones, like I said, they're 6 inches, but all you do is keep doing the same thing that I've shown you. Just keep going around and around. The next row you will have 3 of these windows, and then the next row from that you'll have 4 of those windows. And so it really gets faster because the windows go quick. It's the ends that take a little bit longer. But what I like to do, and I've made these for my grandchildren and they love them, instead of making a bunch of little squares, I have actually made one big granny square blanket, and I can use multiple colors. You can switch colors. Maybe you can do 3 rows with one color and then switch to another, and they're absolutely gorgeous, and it's just one big granny square. And you can, I've made it like 6 feet square, and it just keeps growing and growing. I'm going to show you a photograph. Most of you are probably familiar with Vanna White on Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune. And this is, she actually writes crocheting patterns, and this is her pattern. And this is just one giant square, just continuous square. It's not a bunch of them sewn together. It's just keep going around and around. And this is my favorite thing to do. And the kids love it. It's beautiful when it turns out. And happy crocheting. I hope you've enjoyed it.
Okay, this is Willie and Grandma, and Lexi's on hand here too at newandlostcrafts.com. And I will make sure that my mom is available to answer some comments. So if you have them, please post them. Okay, again, newandlostcrafts.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.